Hello and welcome to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav, and joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen. Hello.
That's how it usually goes, eh?
Class Dave, well done, mate.
Aye. Good to know that if I'm ever ill or can't do it, then that you can step in as host.
I can definitely step up, mate.
Aye.
He could just do a full podcast himself.
If you want, here's the notes.
Just the impressions.
Just do the impressions of each other.
Aye. So how was Poland, Dave? I know you missed the podcast last week for Poland. How was Poland?
Yeah, it was good.
Were you away with the guys, or were you away with...
I was away with the bird.
With the bird?
Yeah, I would recommend Poland.
Yeah.
A wee weekend away, aye.
Good stuff.
Anybody fancies it, go. Cheap drink.
Aye.
Aye.
Good stuff. And Stephen, you're saying earlier on you're in the process to hopefully starting a new job. You excited about
Buzzing.
that? Aye. You sound it.
Yeah, that's about as exciting as it gets for me. Aye.
Yeah, your bird's lucky.
Okay, so podcast today, we'll run through the news quite briefly, and then we'll look at the St Mirren game. Not an exciting game, so it won't be an in-depth look at the St Mirren game. Look ahead to Hamilton, and then a few bits of debates to kind of talk about. I raised the idea maybe just doing one about putting out a poll, but you guys said why not talk about a couple of them. So we'll talk about those topics in a bit. So starting off with the first bit of news. Hibs reserves lost 2-0 to Hearts reserves at what's the Odeum? No,
Orium. The
Orium. I was going to call it Opium. Too many nightclubs spent the night in Edinburgh. Aye, so out the Orium. Marciano returned was probably the biggest bit of news to come from it. Played the 90 minutes. So once he's fit, is he likely to replace Bogdan in goals, or do you think Bogdan sealed in his place?
That's a very good question.
Nice one to get started.
To be fair, Bogdan's had a few clean sheets in a row now, and I think if that wee good spell hadn't just happened, then I would say Marciano straight back in.
Yeah.
Well, now he's probably give you a chance.
Mm-hmm. But
it's up to obviously to Neil Lennon.
And Stephen, do you think it's quite a disappointing result, considering, I mean, Marciano, Mackie, Nilom, Murray, well, they're both Murrays, Fraser and Dennis, Allen and Shaw up top. It's a decent reserve team. Do you think we could have been doing better there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad result, I suppose, but at the end of the day, they're still young. You're not got to win every game, eh? Just got to look positives.
On a more positive note, Stirling Uni were playing we're playing Hibs Ladies, and Hibs Ladies run out 5-0 winners. Goals from Gallagher, Riley, and a hat-trick from Harrison. Elsewhere, Glasgow City had a 3-2 win over Celtic, so almost a wee trip up from them there. But as it stands, after 19 games, both have won 17, drawn 2, lost 0, and Glasgow City have a goal difference of 60, whereas Hibs have a goal difference of 58. So both on 53 points. 53 points. Couldn't get much closer than that, eh?
No, that's a pretty frightening record, to be fair as well.
And they play each other next in the league. They've got a game against each other first in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup, and then before that, Glasgow City have got a Champions League last 16 game against Barcelona. Do you think that could be a distraction? 4 days before they play Hibs, they play Barcelona in the Champions League. Could that be a distraction before the big game in the league?
Yeah.
Give Hibs an advantage.
Aye, because... Well, think about it, the Glasgow players are probably going to be right up for that Champions League action, and then say they do get beat or don't perform that well, then it could be quite heavy on the legs coming in 4 days later, knowing that you're going to play what your closest rivals in the league, especially with the record that tight.
And finally, the Scotland squad, no Martin Boyle. Stephen, are you okay? I know Dave, you missed this, but I'm sure you listened to it on the plane. Stephen was quite passionate about Boyle being included in the Scotland squad, and as you were saying earlier that Alex McLeish just came out and said he can go play for Australia.
I'm going to reiterate the Rangers fans for Sunday and the SFA. Sick of it. I'm not going to go back into it because I said enough last week.
You're still hurting?
I'm really disappointed. I'm not hurting, I'm just disappointed.
But let's look at this. Will he get more caps for
He
Australia?
actually genuinely looks disappointed. I'm looking on the now. I'm just got the benefit of seeing your face. There's no normally many benefits of seeing your face, but this is one of them.
That's why we do a podcast and not a vlog.
How many caps will he get for Australia compared to how many he would have got for Scotland? Will it be more? And from a Hibs point of view, that's more beneficial to us if he's playing more international matches.
The thing is, you've got to get more games playing for Scotland, because they didn't play that many games in Oceanic tournaments. Or, I mean, fair enough, he'll probably get World Cup experience playing for Australia. He's not going to get that for Scotland. But by the time the next World Cup comes, he'll not be with Hibs anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
A lifestyle choice, innit? Like, Scotland didn't want him anyway, but for Boyle's not exactly losing out. Like,
no,
he's
of course he's not
going to get to go to all these countries and that, and
100%.
even if he is away less, then it's fine, because he's got like a family and that now. So exactly.
Just a quick reminder before we get to the St Mirren game that we've teamed up with 2.1. Head over to the 2.1.com. If you like what you see, sign up for a subscription. I'm sure they've got a free trial on that as well. But if you want to sign up for a subscription, make sure you remember to use the promo code HibsTalk and you'll get 10% off your order. It's about $5.99 a month and non-biased, 3 independent journalists do great articles, so check it out, the 2.1.com. So the St Mirren game, the first goal, quickly to say, it seems that it came from another training ground corner. Good to see the training ground being used effectively and studying the opponents and putting all that into practice.
Aye, well, it's exactly what we've done before, like against with the goal against Kilmarnock, David Gray again. So Neil Lennon says it was a training ground move. So it is good to see them working, considering how many corners we had towards the end of last season, and were wasteful. Yeah, it was like we said before, like every time we got a corner, he's as well as rolling it back to their keeper. Like, but now we've got somebody that can deliver it, and we've got David Gray on form. Aye, so, but I mean, Stephen, it should have been a free kick to St Mirren, right?
Not at all.
Come on, let's be honest here. Let's take off our green tinted glasses. I mean, a bear hug, like as I said on Sports, it's a bear hug.
It was the fact that no St Mirren players had reacted to it at all. The two boys that he was giving a hug to, like, never bothered about it either. They were just like, oh well, it's a goal, disappointed. That's it. Like, there was no reaction.
I give one of them in that moment, because you see how well
put a hand up or anything.
Even like just felt the grunt.
Aye.
Like when Canberra's holding on to him, the ref would have,
or went down to their knees or something.
Something like that.
All you need to do in that situation is raise your hand or something, and the referee comes.
Saying, like, can you see this?
Exactly. It's not a big thing, but they both just ran into him, and he held them back. But I mean, if they're not arguing, then it's a goal. No free kick.
Well, it was Captain Goal Machine, and he was almost at it again. He had a shot. Which was parried away by the keeper and led to another corner. But what was your thoughts on Canberra's hold-up play, Dave, within that move? That
was good. We've seen that film. Actually, has surprised me a wee bit, because I did remember him being good at holding up the ball, but in recent games, we've seen it against Aberdeen as well. Like, his hold-up play is actually really, really strong, and he brings other players into play. I just
remember being really unsure about him when we first signed him, and I remember I think back to the player we saw in his debut against Motherwell, where he scored the goal off the crossbar and stuff, and I was like, right, okay, he's a good sort of, lanky sort of striker that can do that sort of thing. Maybe we do have a decent player in our hands, but I think he's just evolved and improved, and I think that's one of the reasons he wanted to come back to Hibs, because he felt that he was improving as a player. So, and it's something I feel he's improved on, his hold up play.
It's a fact as well, though, that he's started off the season with McLaren.
Yeah,
like he started the season as a lone striker with two wingers that he's bringing into play all the time, and he's having to do it. So I mean, obviously he's adapting to it well.
And he sort of spoke publicly how he's not happy about that, and how he felt better about McLaren coming off the bench. But he's been forced to adapt, and he's doing it, which is great. And also in that move, Heinemann done really well. Quite a few decent passes, linking up well with Canberra, and a good bit of movement into space. Stephen, do you think he could be coming on to a bit of a game and we could actually have a decent player in our hands?
No.
Just because he played for Rangers, or because...
It's not because he played for Rangers. He's done that. That's probably the first 4 passes that he's linked up all season.
He played well against Aberdeen.
It's too light on the ball, and he doesn't bring it up. He doesn't do enough for me.
Fair
For
enough.
playing 90 minutes, 4 passes isn't good enough.
We'll see how he goes. And then how did we not score the next one? David Gray again, bombing forward. Great to see him got that stamina back. It was a great ball across. Canberry's shot was blocked, and then Dave, what was Horgan doing at the back post?
That's an absolute sitter. I sit and laugh at videos of Morelos like missing chances like that, and it's I don't care if there's a keeper like between the sticks or basically it's an open goal. It's like in it, but we need to start tucking them away.
Yeah, and then from then on we went to more a counter-attacking football, sort of in the second half and stuff like that. Not from then on, but you know, a couple of decent half chances and stuff. But as the game wore on, St Mirren were going for it more. I think it was decided to use the pace of Agipong and Horgan to kind of play on the counter-attack a bit more. Shaw would probably be the best chance that we had at the remainder of the game. Dave, you were
left foot.
You know, we watched the highlights back again, just before coming up to throw the refresh in our mind, and you were so annoyed.
Aye, I just think professional football player, put your foot through it, left foot. What are you doing?
Stop playing with it. You can play with the toy, just don't
That's
take it off the table. Sorry, Stephen's playing with a toy. Yeah. Anyway, Dave, you were saying about hitting it with your left foot.
Big Wayne. Aye, just smash it with your left foot. It's like he took his time and then he was looking up to see where the keeper was, and that's fine. But there's somebody right there. I mean, you've not got the luxury of having all the
just
time. Just
smash it with your left foot.
Aye, and obviously he's a really. I'm no like being. This is maybe just being a wee bit overcritical, like, but that's what he should have done.
Yeah. And finally, we went 4-1-4-1 against Dundee, or 4-3-3, whichever way you want to look at it, with a holding midfielder. And then we went to the 3-5-2 against Aberdeen, back to the 4-1-4-1 today. Quite good to see this flexibility and changing between systems depending on the opponent. So,
yeah, we've got quite a few options now, which is good. It's good to see.
Yeah. So what? How do you, Stephen? How do you, talking about formations and that there, and segueing into the Hamilton game? What way would you like us to see us lining up at home to Hamilton? Should we go back to the 3-5-2 in order to have two up top, or should we be going for the 4-1-4-1 in order to have the pacey wingers?
It depends if you've got Boyle back or no. I think that Boyle's made an impact player than Agipong.
Right.
So if that's the case, maybe.
If Boyle is back, and we were looking to change it, could he play up top?
I wouldn't play him up top.
No.
You could maybe play him as a right-sided attacker for like a 4-3-3 again. There's no point in bringing Gray out of the squad to put Boyle in if he's fit.
Right.
I wouldn't be bringing Gray out of that squad at all recently. Keep 4 at the back. Can maybe do 5-1 up top, but again, it just sort of really depends on who's in the squad.
Dave, what's your thoughts?
To be honest, I would do the same team as the weekend against St Mirren, but just put Boyle in for Agipong, and then bring Agipong off the bench, like you've seen against Dundee. Like that, the left back was absolute burst with dealing with Boyle, and then Agipong comes on, and it's like you had a laugh, like,
Aye.
and he just ran at him, and then the guy was all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's no reason we can't do that again.
So looking at our opponents, we're playing Hamilton. Their recent results, anyway. They have 2-0 defeat to Dundee. Dundee picking up the first points of the season.
Saved Neil McCann's job.
I know, saving Neil McCann's job. Week before that, though, they beat St Mirren 3-0. Defeat to Livingston, defeat to St Johnstone, defeat to Celtic. A win over Motherwell, and a big defeat in the open game of the season to Hearts. So quite indifferent, not a great start, barring the 2 wins. They've kind of been so they're sitting on 6 points thanks to those 2 wins. Other than that, it's been quite, but do we have to be careful not to take them lightly? I mean, I'm sure I do remember, so we came off the back of 3 league wins going into this game. I remember scoring 3 at Ibrox and coming in a Hamilton game very confident, a similar time in the season, and taking them lightly. Do we have to make sure we don't do that this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. But I think what Neil Lennon's saying, kind of, he said he's very, very annoyed the chances are missing. I think that sets us up nicely to just go out and smash a team. Like, we need to absolutely smash somebody. Like, and I think the way he is, like, and because he's a winner and he's determined, and he said that in public, and that I don't think he'll accept a half-arsed performance. I think the players will be right up for this.
I mean, it seems like we've been saying this. I mean, so January, February, you started saying we were due somebody a 3 or 4, a 4 or 5-0 or something, a good smashing. And we've had high-scoring matches, but that's with people scoring at the other end. In recent weeks, we've now had the 3 clean sheets, but that's with us not scoring our chances.
I'm pretty sure.
So it's that we need. When's it going to be that balance? When are we going to have that big result?
3-0 against away to Dundee's not that bad.
It was a good result. I think that's probably one of the best results we've had this season. But again, like last season, when I turned around and says that we were due to smash somebody, and when Lennon come out and says that we were due to smash somebody, I think we got humped 3-1 the next game week.
Right.
When he says that, so. I mean, like Dave says, he's a winner. He wants a result, and he doesn't come out and say things lightly. But at the same time, it's the players that need to go out and perform. And in the last 2 games, we've had over 30 attempts on goal and scored 2 goals. Like, I mean, strikers need to start getting better. Attacking players need to start getting better. And a goal against St Mirren came for a defender. Yeah. So I mean, there's obviously problems there.
It's good that we're creating the chances. It's just they need to just. I think as soon as they tuck a couple away, then the floodgates will just open.
That's it.
So hopefully it's hit me Hamilton, because we've got a couple of big matches coming up after this, so we need to keep the momentum going.
Yeah. So we'll continue with the finishing in a second, just to keep that kind of finish that up in a second. But quickly finishing off the Hamilton game, then score predictions for the game.
I'm going to go 3-0.
3-0. Steven?
1 or 2-0.
Right, I'll go 2-0. I think we'll get the job done there.
We'll take 1 or 2-0. Still been greedy.
I never. What, you moan at me for saying 8-0, and
I just saying.
I says 1-0.
Commit.
Right, 1-0 then.
1-0.
Right. Okay. And
he's not getting 2.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And just to say, there's a few returning Hibbies at the weekend, because obviously Martin, your favourite Scott Martin, Dave, Martin Cannon, James Keaton's Scottish Cup winning hero, and I'm sure there's another player that's also been at Hibs.
Keaton doesn't even get off the bench.
Keaton
doesn't even get off the bench for Hamilton.
Really?
He played at the weekend. He hit the bar with a free kick.
He never started.
Well, I don't know if he started, but he hit the bar with a free kick. I remember half cut watching Sports Scene seeing that as well.
So, a few players that we know well, and hopefully Keaton does get on, because I'm sure he'll get a great reception. So, going back to the finishing then, so why are we missing all these chances? Why are we not being so clinical, and how much is it going to cost us, considering it's already cost us a semi-final in the League Cup?
Well, we're missing them because McLaren's known.
I think that's a big reason, yeah.
And you can't give an explanation as to why Horgan's missed that chance, why Ollie Shaw didn't square the ball against Aberdeen, why
Boyle didn't square the ball.
It's just bad decision making at the time.
Yeah.
So I think, obviously, that's 3 different individual players having really big chances. I think the next time that they come into like that type of position, like, will that experience have changed what they're now going to be thinking? Do you know what I mean? So like, will Shaw be like, will he have a look up next time he's through 1-on-1? Probably. Like, so it's probably too hard to read into the now, because it's so early in the season.
Yeah, you don't want them getting in their head too much, because maybe he was thinking, right, curve this with my right foot, or smash with my left foot, and he was like, oh, maybe I should square it, and then he took too long, and then he's to be fair, he's a really good finisher. Yeah, and I think that's maybe what he done against St Mirren. Like, just took too long, and then waited in it in his right foot rather than just smashing it. A confident striker would have just smashed that with the left. Yeah. So that's maybe been his head. But against the one against Aberdeen, I just think he just wanted to score. Yeah, he wanted to be the hero.
Yeah, just wanted to score.
I think it's just a big confidence thing when it comes down to it.
I don't mind strikers being 1-on-1 and hitting it rather than squaring it, because some of them will go in and then we'll be like, we'll no look at it back going, I should have scored it. Like, he scored. You know what I mean? Like, strikers have got to be selfish sometimes. That's how you get goals. how you get goals out of nothing and that. So
The thing is as
I
well,
don't have a
like,
problem with it.
you named 3 players there, and you never even mentioned like the first choice striker, and it says a lot because our first choice striker is now holding up the ball because there's nobody else there to do it. Like if you're trying to bring in wingers to score, then you've not really got much left for Canberra to do, and you can't really expect them to be scoring now.
Yeah.
And when you've not got a first choice striker to be scoring goals, then that's how you're lacking them.
The way I look at it, we're missing a lot of chances, and we're sitting second in the league.
Aye.
That
But
I mean,
Lennon's went out his way to mention it in his last 3 post-match press conferences. Even the Dundee game when we won 3-0, he said, you know, we could have been punished for not taking our chances in the first half. Aberdeen game, he mentioned it obviously, and then he's mentioned it there against St Mirren. So it's obviously something that we'll be working on.
good, and I'm glad it's annoying him.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he's in the same mind frame.
and the leaking the goals was annoying him, and he's addressed it. So that leads us in very nicely
Yeah.
to the next topic. Is the reason we've had 3 clean sheets in a row? Is it the defence being settled now and Bogdan been in the team a bit, or is it the introduction of Milligan? Is he the reason that we've now gone 346 minutes since we last conceded a goal?
It's the exclusion of Whittaker.
Whittaker was good to the second half against Dundee.
That
Got to give him his dues.
I says that to you as well, though.
Right.
Is he good going forward though,
he's
and
good as a right
playing
back.
balls forward, and even in the defensive midfielder role, doing things going forward? But when other teams are going to press onto you, that's when he struggles.
Yeah, probably. It's just picking your games with Whittaker. Like,
Yeah.
he's got to just be a squad player, come in and out. He came on at half time against Dundee. Dundee weren't particularly pressing that well, and then Whittaker impressed going forward, and then didn't need to do as much defensively, and he was a sound, reliable player. It was one of the best 45 I've seen him have since he came back to Hibs. But going back to your original question, Milligan's he's the reason that we're like much sounder. We've got protection in front of the back four now.
So what's he doing that Whittaker or whoever else was playing that role before it wasn't doing?
He's got a bit of bite.
Yeah.
Like he's not getting anybody a second on the ball, and he's no fear to go in for a tackle. I think Whittaker was getting turned too easy. Like he was maybe getting tight against these man, but he wasn't going in as aggressively or letting them know that they're there. And then he was just getting turned, and then before you know it, the guy's like a couple of yards away. It's like he just is just better at holding, like just protecting the back four. Do you know what I mean? And he's good on the ball as well. Wants the ball all the time. He's always looking for it. Aye.
Stephen, what's your thoughts been on Milligan since he's came in?
A massive improvement for what we need. He knows his role. Like he come out in his first press conference, he turned around and says, "What's your best position?" He says, "Well, I'm a centre back, but I want to play midfield," and that's what Lennon brought him in for. So I mean, you can't argue with that. He's come in. He's decided that he's a holding midfielder. He's the link between the defence and the attack, which is what we need. Like, and I mean, he's just an all-round better player than what we've had.
And I think that's it. I mean, that's what you tend to do when you go out in the transfer window. You try to improve on what you've currently got. And as much as we loved John McGinn, Scott Allen and Dylan McGeoch, who were probably one of the best midfield trios in Scotland at the time, we were still exposed and conceding goals at the back. So, you know, Dylan might get a lot of criticism for saying this, but Dylan was good at calming the game, but maybe did he maybe not have the same impact in terms of protecting the defence that we're now seeing Milligan have, or is it too early to kind of say that?
No, I see where you're coming from, but it probably is a wee bit early to say that. And he is a bit different for Dylan.
Yeah, and I mean, it was
but,
going to be impossible to get somebody like
I
that.
just think he's just got a good level of like aggression about him, and he's experienced, and
yeah,
it just feels like it's exactly what we needed.
Aye. A wee bit touch of class as well. Okay, so we asked you guys for some topics as well. Ollie Bra has asked, noticed a drop in attendances lately in the league and especially other games, Famous Five especially. You guys notice this?
The famous five's been murder
Aye.
for about a couple of seasons now, I would say. It's something that Tracy mentioned, is they've noticed that there quite a lot of people don't use their tickets in that area, and so the club were contacting them to try and find out like what was happening. So maybe that's just needs to be asked again. But one of the other things that just annoys the living daylights at me, and it always will, is the game against Aberdeen. Right, obviously I couldn't go. I was in Poland, but you're charging what, 20 quid? Doesn't sound that bad in the face it, right? But how many were there?
11,000.
They looked pathetic. Like, because I managed to get some out on BT on my phone. Why not make that like kind of they have like how we knew about that game for about a month leading up to it. So make that game like a promotional, like some type of like
bring a friend
marketing
sort of
thing. Bring a friend could be like, and then kind of the Hibs kids things. I know it's during the week, but like hey stuff outside the ground before it. Just hey like a fun day, because it's a quarter-final League Cup. Only one game left before it's
Hampden
goes to Hampden and that. So
or Murrayfield.
or Murrayfield. Or wherever the fuck the SFA want you to go. But that to me is like an opportunity to get people to the ground, get the place buzzing, just hey a fun. That's what it's meant to be. Football, going to the football is meant to be a fun experience. But why just accept 11,000 on a crappy night? Like, do something with it.
So you feel the club could be doing more?
When it comes to that, when it comes to cup games and that, 100%. It's annoyed me. It's always annoyed me, and I don't understand the reasoning for it. Charging 20 quid to a half-empty stadium when you can charge 10 quid to have maybe potentially twice as many, or like you said, bring a friend, sell it out. More people buying food, more people going in and visiting the shop. You need to chuck a couple more staff on, but who cares?
Okay. Few stories about staff, but yeah. I'll edit that. And Stephen, do you think Ollie Brock and Hibernian News Polls and Shop kind of point this out? Do you think it could be a case of the fact that we've not really played anybody yet? I mean, obviously Aberdeen on Wednesday night, but in terms of in the league, we've yet to have a visit from Celtic, Rangers, or Hearts. If
it's down to that, then Hibs fans are really fickle.
Yeah,
and we've said it for years as well. I mean, like the results start coming, the Hibs fans start coming back. It's no any debate about that. It's fact. As soon as we started getting results again, attendances were going up from 8,000 a game to 18,000 a game. But like you says, I mean, it could just be that first game against Hearts, Celtic, Rangers comes to Easter Road, we end up getting 20,000 and you wonder why. Like, I mean, you can only put it so far, like so much on the away fans not coming.
The league attendances haven't been dreadful by any stretch.
No, but I mean,
competing against last year's would be difficult. I agree, but it is like an entertainment business in it, and we are playing entertaining football in it.
Exactly. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be getting 18,000, 19,000.
Yeah, I liked a lot more fans to be going, but it's just the season ticket holders. It's when a game says it's sold out, so we've opened up the south stand.
Yeah,
and then you can't get a ticket, and then you look about and you see good. It's not just a couple of hundred.
So then really, it must be season tickets rather than.
Yep, it needs to be looked at. Obviously we're not trying to add negative spin here, it's just obviously what somebody's asked, but it's definitely an area that needs addressed.
But the thing is as well, like you've heard for Tracy saying that the clubs going round and offering, like, say, season ticket holders to release their seats early and that. Like, I mean, this is where they need to start incentivising it.
I would incentivise it. Say it needs
give them half the price of their ticket back or something, and at least that way you can sell the ticket. Because
like I say, know what I harp on about Rangers, but they do, if you sell your ticket back and it gets bought, you don't get a refund, but you get that value taken off your next year's season ticket. So if you can make a couple of games, so there is that, like, I need to release my seat. Only if it gets taken, because the club's still getting the money just all the same, and it's filling a seat.
Right, it's a good idea. That's probably one of the better ways to do it. And then the only way they're getting their money back.
As if they got,
As if they get their season tickets. The club's still making money. Okay, so we'll kind of quick fire through the rest of the points that people threw, just for time reasons. So Harry MacArthur had put Effie Ambrose has been our player of the month. Discuss. I'm guessing he means for September, considering we're only 2 days into October.
No, he's been brilliant the last couple of games. We just hope he keeps it up. I mean, it's no due on Effie.
How unlucky have we been with injuries so far? And how do you think we'll be once we've got the fully fit squad?
They've just it's all come at once, and it's all come at a bad time. Like the start of the season when you're trying to build momentum, like losing Boyle, losing McLaren, Marciano not being fit for the start of the season. It's all just come at a really bad time. But I mean, you can't really put it down to the injuries because the team that we've got now are starting to play well together. And I mean, I don't think it's made too much an impact, especially on the results. The start of the season, you could obviously look back at St Johnstone game, Aberdeen game, games that we could have won, but again, you're sitting second in the league. You can't argue with that.
A couple from Instagram. We'll quickly fire through now. How better are Hibs with Gray and Kimberry in the side?
Massively.
Yep, massively.
Are Hibs a better team without McLaren? Controversial one there.
No.
No.
No chance.
We spoke about this one quite a bit, but Hibs fan page 1875 thoughts on the signing of Mikel Nalom.
Competition.
Well, it's just good competition, I suppose. I've literally not seen any of them apart from clips on the internet, so.
How hard are the next 4 games going to be against Hamilton, Celtic, Rangers and Hearts?
Well, it's only 3 now
because the Rangers game's been rearranged. So yeah,
bring it on.
Yeah, that's
what we're here for.
That's what we were missing when we were in it. Well, not that much because Hearts and Rangers were with us in the Championship.
Yep, love it. Love the fact that we're there competing out the top. Want them. I want them. Want the games.
After our next 5 games, will we be above Hearts?
5-point gap. We could be. That's not me sitting on the fence.
That's you on the fence, Stephen.
I think
they've actually got quite difficult fixtures.
They do.
So it's getting to the juicy bit. Yeah, this is the juicy bit. Like where it's like find if teams have got bottle. The
difficult thing is to consistently do it against the teams you're expected to win. That's the difficult thing. So yeah. So. I hate to say it,
you just look at how many times though, like Hearts have went into a game against Hibs where they've been flying, and then this is where their bottle crashes.
We'll see. Hopefully
they'll crash before that. At least you're hoping that we get top of the league by 31st of October. But
we'll see. So I mean, we've already mentioned this, but I'll just sort of mention. Raymond Strachan asked on Facebook, should Marciano be our first choice keeper? So you were a bit hesitant before.
I still want Marciano to be our first choice. It's just whether he gets back in or no is another matter.
Right, Stephen?
Before he gets anywhere near the first team, Bogdan's got to start conceding again. There's no way that you can take out a keeper if he's keeping clean sheets.
Buzz Dobbs asks, where's all the money went?
Decorating behind the goals. That lucky paint that they've had up and saying that it's been redecorated.
Petrie buying a new set of flats.
You've seen behind the goals firsthand.
Aye, it was alright. I mean, it's they could have done more in terms of the tables. Maybe I think they could have put in standing, like higher tables that you stand at dinner, to kind of get more of a more people in and more people somewhere to stand rather than stand at the windows. That's what I would have done. Right, got rid of the big tables, but they could obviously use them for something else. But so that's Hamilton at the weekend. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I am.
No pre-match drinks. We'll have pre-match drinks, but no football to go with the pre-match drinks, unless you want to watch. What was it, Stephen? Leeds and Brentford, which should be a classic.
Leeds are actually
Leeds are top of the league.
Leeds are playing not too bad now.
I know, but
don't know how they didn't beat Sheffield Wednesday the other night.
Right.
I watched.
So it might be disrespectful to the Championship, and we should get really excited about that game.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. I'll go to the pub and I don't give a hoot if that's on the telly or no.
Right.
But it's our only home game in October.
I know. Aye, the next one's the
So-
3rd of November. So, aye, I've got. I have to say, I'm keen to go in for a drink because, as much as I'm on about behind the goals, the Hibernian ale was actually really nice.
Was it?
So I really want another Hibernian ale. I've been really wanting another one since Tuesday night. So, aye, I'm definitely having one of them beforehand behind the goals.
Fair play.
Aye, okay, right. Well, thanks a lot for coming along, guys. We'll
So,
wrap it
yeah.
up there. Aye, hopefully folk will listen to this on the way to the game and stuff, and aye, we'll get some score predictions from people online and stuff. Find us on all the social medias at HFC Talk. Give us a follow and stuff if you haven't already, and thanks for listening, folks.
So I've been your host Gav, and thanks to Dave. Cheers.
Dave's better than you. Studying the opponents and putting all that into practice.
Yep, we spoke about it with a goal against. Who was it? Mind that set piece goal was scored, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm really happy."
It was at home.
Come on,
Aye, come on,
Oh, the Gary Parker.
good memory we've got.